Hi, Brendan Farley.
Hello. I guess we're gonna make a video about Frosty's bad business practice turning out to be just a refund that took a very long time to come back to me, but thankfully my $94, well, the total $99 now has been returned, so I cannot technically accuse her of theft, and I never really did. I just said it was bad business practice. To first of all refund the purchase, which I was going to give as a Christmas gift.
To me?
To you. Yes, that spoiled the surprise.
Ooh, and yeah, okay. Well,
But Frostifa ruined that.
I mean, what if she had just mailed it like a normal e-commerce business and I didn't like it? Would she have doxed me then for not liking her jewelry?
Exactly. The doxing was the big issue for me. It was, and also the fact that as soon as she doxed my number on Twitter, somebody had called me. Someone texted me.
Yeah, it immediately started like an avalanche.
Yeah. And I don't want to be dealing with Frosty's, bad business practice when I'm at home editing a video or drinking kombucha.
So, if I recall, the reasons why you started the process of supporting her e-commerce business was to cheer her up from a series of attacks on vulnerable people, and you thought you could show her some support to de-escalate her.
Yeah, and actually, before I made the purchase, I thought we had somewhat of a rapport going on because I talked to her on Facebook briefly, but basically, I kind of let her know that I thought it was a little bit out of character for her to bully Mariah off Twitter like that.
Well, hey, good news. Mariah is back.
Oh.
As of last night, Mariah Macaronio is back. And she's issued her full apology. She's moving on with her life and happiness. She doesn't stand by any of those, unfortunate statements she made years and years ago.
Hyperbolic, I would say. Maybe it was meant to shock people in the moment.
Well, in the rabbi, you know who I mean, the Antifa rabbi. It's like Rabbi Ariel Stone or something like that. She helped negotiate this sort of settlement, and Mariah apologized, and then of course it wasn't good enough for Frosty.
There was wait.
I mean,
Mariah,
like a Twitter settlement,
okay.
A Twitter settlement with this attempted conflict resolution, and that's when I was like, hey, but what about this curb stomping threat or these threats of violence or frightening?
Wasn't there like a gun Colt 45 threat? I don't know if
that was right. It appeared to be directed towards you. And just to set some records straight, I don't know what this word means. Chud. Does that mean anything you recognize?
I've heard it a lot. Let's just say that I've heard it a lot, and I take it as people who, it's basically the Antifa version of patriots. I mean, the extreme, like, it's the Proud Boys of.
She's wishing for death 15 minutes ago, lying in the dark, crying. She probably has a hangover. I had to tell her this, but she needs to take a B vitamin and drink some orange juice.
I thought she was just tweeting about drinking with her lover.
Yeah, kombucha, by the way. Kombucha. What flavor is yours, though?
It's mango.
Mango, mine is ginger. Okay. So, just very recently, she's using a derogatory epithet for you that we know that this is one of your nicknames by your haters.
Is she calling me the chud?
She's calling you...
Oh, fartly. She says fartly. That's very trollish.
And then she is saying, I'm dealing with real doxing from chuds. And for the record, you're not anti-Semitic.
No.
I'm not. I'm like obsessed with Jewish culture and love Jewish culture, and I've had on my Gmail, my little Tree of Life thing, my profile pic is Jewish. Yeah. Like, it's been Jewish for like 10 years or something. Like the Tree of Life, and it's specifically the foundation. So there's something about Zaddy. Yeah. So she's saying she's being fast-jacketed. Do you know this term, fast-jacketed? So we have snitch jacket. Fast-jacket is when you are artificially implicated as a fascist, whatever that means.
Their viewpoint of a fascist.
Yeah. But the jacket indicates that it's a sort of a wrongful framing. Yeah. So you got your 94 back, and I think that should be like let the people should know that you got your 94 back. I
Um,
made 3 chat complaints to Shopify, 2 letters to legal. What did you do? You called
I
PayPal.
contacted PayPal and I called American Express, which
You even wrote her letters. So you
yeah,
please
I,
refund
the
me.
owner,
Like,
yeah,
don't let this go on.
and
Don't dox your customers.
I got the refund. Let's see, it was um, 11 days after I made the purchase, because I made the purchase and got the refund on December 19th, and didn't get the actual money back into my account for the refund until December
Oh
31st.
wow,
New
so
Year's.
that was a long wait. So yeah, your money was held up. Somebody made the point when this whole scandal broke out that there was a very pivotal case. Remember the case about the gay couple wanted a wedding cake and the company wanted to discriminate. And I mean, generally, that's kind of what she's doing. She's saying, I think I know what your politics are, therefore I won't serve you. I won't fulfill your order.
And is that the Shopify policy? Do they allow that type of discrimination on their?
They said they were like, they found it reprehensible and upsetting that your safety felt threatened. Oh, and she
Well,
was
thank you
going,
for vouching for me. Thank you really
yeah,
for
sure, of course.
talking to them. Um,
And so, what was the thing with Mick Smith last night? It's like she finds a new black person every day to hate on within the civil rights movement, make a big fight and frame up with, which it was a problem for people who are Afrocentric or pro-black or good allies.
and to me, it's kind of a cop out to act and say racist things towards people, and then kind of jack it behind your heritage or your culture. That it's not culturally acceptable. I don't think in any culture modern civilized society to be racist towards a certain
Okay, yeah, no, a joke.
demographic.
And she even said she's not afraid of being perceived as racist when she goes on the attack against these black leaders. And so she's offended and pissed off a lot of people. Here's
It looks like, yeah, I see the emojis, the laughing It looks like they're just treating this as a joke.
Pixie Stealth, who I just found out about, said to Real Frosty Lady and Frosty Lady, I serve an actual purpose. You sow discord, offend black leaders, kick it in Tillamook, make everything about you, be the best at everything, best at being persecuted, best victim of hate crime, best at making every tweet detract from the movement.
Mm-hmm.
And she
Well,
says, you don't, yeah.
I feel like in Frosty's worldview, the movement has to be about everything that Frosty's going through.
It's narcissistic, yeah, very, very much. In age wise, what did we find? She's about like 34 or something like that.
Uh,
You think she'll
yeah,
get more mature as she ages, more wise, and more considerate of other people's feelings?
I don't think so. It's at this point, you've already built the foundation. You're in your 30s. You should know better. But however, something could happen in her life that changes her perspective or outlook, and really, it may just take one person or a group of people reaching out to her in kindness, which is what I was trying to do.
What you were trying to do, and you were misperceived and bullied. You were called all kinds of names.
It looks like she's having more suicidal ideations right now,
Yeah.
but that's really what caused me to worry about her. And I was saying that the first message I sent her was everything's gonna basically it's okay, everything's gonna be okay. You make exceptional jewelry.
Yeah.
I wanted to compliment her after I saw the suicidal, and she had gone dark on Twitter.
There was a point at which you're so used to being picked on and hated on. I felt like, well, now the subject, like the cloud has lifted from Mariah. Brandon's going to take all the heat off Mariah. Everybody can hate on him. He's used to it. And it's mirthful and somewhat playful. But I think they really got carried too far, threatening you once again to be home stalked or doxed your home address. And that's not a reasonable business practice. You
Well,
shouldn't.
yeah, she did put part of my address on there, and was basically sending people after me, and they were trolling me, and thankfully so far no harm has come to me physically. aside from the emotional and the threats
Right.
the usual threats that I get from her side, and
And was it worth it to expose the business practices to front this much money, have this much amount of a huge amount of drama,
it's,
finally get your money back, and do you
yeah,
feel vindicated or do you feel vanquished?
well, I didn't obtain anything throughout this process. I mean, other than the learning experience, I
Mm-hmm.
think, and maybe hopefully I was able to let other people know what type of business owner Frostifa actually was, and don't go onto her website because you'll have
She's even claiming that she's stalking people traveling through her website. Like,
their IP address,
yeah.
and
What did the dragon represent to you? Or why was the dragon important for you?
well, you'd gotten me into different versions of astrology. One being the Chinese astrological, um, and my year, I'm the year of the dragon, and I don't know. I guess as a kid, early on, it's just always I've gravitated towards dragon energy. I think, and like that's what I used to draw as a child is dragons and nothing else, pretty much. So I had kind of a fascination with them, with the creature, and you know, today I don't, but I still feel like there's something there, and I don't know. I thought the sculpture was nice. I wanted to give it as a gift. Like it's not something you really, it's just like a sentimental thing because Frosty is a part of the community of this, whatever you call it. People on Twitter who know each other, who are associated with Portland, um, who like to troll
I get
sometimes.
it. So the thing yesterday was Max Smith saying something about love your enemies and making peace.
Mm-hmm.
And then somehow she turned it into like, well, how do Jewish people feel about anti Semites or Nazis? And then he's sort of like, he's not knowing that he's being baited to be led to the slaughter, which is going to be her accusing him of being anti Semitic, when he's just basically preaching generalized Buddhism or Christianity. Like any major thought system will teach you to be kind and de escalate your anger, including Judaism. So she's then also turning this, and he was not having it.
Oh.
And his friends, and I don't know much about him, but he's evidently a charismatic leader that a lot of people care about what he thinks and says. So I think maybe, do you think it's power? Is that why she wants to go after him? He's a high-ranking anti, or like BLM, so therefore she wants to go after him.
Honestly, since I haven't had Twitter for the last
Yeah,
few months, I don't
it's nice.
know the psychology behind.
Mm-hmm.
I just know that Frostifa is so loud and boisterous and outspoken on this platform that even though I don't have Twitter, it still reaches me. Some of the stuff that's happening, like people know about the bullying that went on between Frosty's bullying towards Mariah, and that's not just Twitter centralized. This is a person who is a strong black leader in the community. Even though she's on, I would say maybe the warped brain side of things
I just call it being pre-woke. Is before you had this woke advanced consciousness, maybe you said something offensive, but we all grow and mature. So why do people have to be held to trial for all their pre-woke statements and then persecuted to the end of time? Like, when do we give anybody a break for having an evolution?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of bigoted to not invite people to your table based on something that happened that they've rectified or tried or publicly. She apologized. I think I didn't know about that until today, but that to me takes a lot of character, and I've only done it a couple times when I know that I've crossed the line and have been offensive.
I mean, would you apologize for trying to buy a necklace to save someone's life and de-escalate what appeared to be an attack on a black woman? I mean, you did nothing wrong.
No, and I gained nothing from it. and I'm not monetized. I did make a review video
Yeah.
about her bad business practices, but I'm not monetizing it. I'm not making any money off of this. In fact, I've lost money from the fines accumulated for transferring payment. So.
And then your right to review a product is just a normal internet right. Like if I eat a pizza, does it taste good or not? I can write a review.
Mm-hmm.
So her being so hypersensitive to why do people not want to have their privacy breached or be humiliated or not get their product.
And I'm not giving any personal details about this person on my review. I didn't say her name, her real name. I didn't say where she lives. I didn't even give the real name of her business, actually. But you could see that what the product was, and if you find the product online, and you can link it to the business. And but I'm not out to dox people. That's the thing. She was maliciously doxing me and sending people to. Getting people to know where I live, basically.
Well, and why did it? If she wanted to like have a jewelry shop that's basically only for people in my thought group or thought category, she could have said, this is my private shop for people who think like me.
Well, I don't think that's it, because she admitted recently to accepting a Christmas check of $100 to $200 every year from a conservative Republican Christian who happened to have debated her in one of her Facebook groups.
Right.
So, she'll take money. Well, she'll accept money from people with different views. It's just me, for some reason. Personally, I think she rejected me because then she could make it a spectacle about her on Twitter.
Right. It was an attention-seeking thing, and she threatened to sue you. Oh my gosh, I forgot.
And that was pinned
for trying to buy. Yeah, pinned to the top of her account.
And it got so many. It got over 100 likes, like several comments and multiple retweets.
Mm-hmm.
So they know the effect that my name has.
And then it turned into not even about her case, which is her failure to perform her business procedure.
She actually ended up getting more business. She
admitted, yeah. So she used being mean to you as a publicity device.
Yeah.
Should you be paid for that?
And it worked. Well, I think I should get at least half of whatever. She had to make 3 orders in one day based off this one spectacle.
So in a way, this is how cynical our culture is that we need to have negative, adverse publicity to drive a sense of urgency and humor about how edgy this company is that they will go out on a limb and bully someone. Is that enough?
Well, I guess I would close by saying, she's still talking about me today. I'm not mentioning Frostifa on any more platforms. I just made the video saying that my refund has not come back yet. And that was the follow-up from the video I made 2 weeks, a few days previous to that. And I thought that it wasn't going to go through because there was all these complications happening. And even so, I didn't get any clarification from the seller. I thought it was bad, faulty business practice. I reached out to her a few times.
Theoretically, Shopify could investigate her merchant process and say maybe like reprimand her or say, hey, you need to follow good business practices. And theoretically. But I wouldn't be surprised if the people chatting me are just sort of humoring me and not even following through. It's nice to see